Hey guys, my name is Danny and I like to make things weird. Now when I was growing up, one of the primary ways that I would make things weird is to prank people and get them to hate me. So today we're gonna be talking about my 3 all-time favorite pranks involving liquid ass. Now if you guys don't know what liquid ass is, consider yourself lucky. It is seriously the most foul and accurate artificial booty smell that you will ever smell in your life. It legitimately smells like there is like a live pile of poop right next to your face. I don't know how they made it. I don't want to know how they made it. I feel bad for the people who had to test how they make it. I'm imagining by like trial 5,000, this guy was like, yeah, that was pretty good. I'm thinking we may need a little bit more diarrhea in there, and then I think we're good to go. All right, bring me another one. I don't know how else to describe it. It's legit, it just smells like literal shit. And it's in a very small container too, so this stuff is mad concentrated. I'm talking seriously, 2 little spritzes could clear out a room. And that's exactly what happened on multiple occasions. So get ready for an adventure today, you guys. Honestly, I didn't know what video I wanted to start this channel off with, but liquid ass stories just seemed so appropriate. So let's just go ahead and get started. I am gonna save my favorite story for last because the teacher that I pranked actually ended up pranking me back. So we can have another little sub story on the end about how I got pranked. It was like 3 years later he pranked me back. It was ridiculous. Anyways, the first story was shortly after I actually got this liquid ass spray. In the past, I had done stupid pranks involving, like fake blood, those little things. I guess they're like those little bags that you inflate and they like blow up. Or, just like putting stuff under the toilet seat that makes a loud bang. Getting people to accidentally shock themselves with like that little gum thing. But I saw liquid ass and I knew it was going to be a game changer. So once I got it, I wanted to, hone in on my craft a little bit. So I went to the mall with some of my friends, we sprayed it in the bathroom and waited for people to come in. Or we just like sprayed it in like an aisle at a store or something. And it was honestly giving off the funniest freaking reactions. So I thought, why not take it up a notch and spray it in one of my classrooms? So when I was in the 8th grade, I had this one class that actually like split halfway between lunch. So we had half the class, we went to lunch, and then we had the other half of the class. And so me being the sneaky devil that I am, snuck in my small little thing of liquid ass in my boot. And so when the bell rang halfway through the class to go to lunch, I kind of, like snuck my liquid ass out of my pocket and just sprayed like 3 or 4 sprays just on this one person's desk. And so we go to lunch. It's like a half-hour lunch, right? I am sitting there dying in anticipation. Like, I just want to know what's gonna happen when we go back to class. And so when we go back, I make sure my liquid ass is secretly tucked in my boot, all nice. And the teacher meets us all outside of the classroom, and he has us stand in a line, and he checks all of our feet for dog shit. And we're sitting there trying not to laugh hysterically as he's checking everyone's shoes because he thinks there's poop in his room. And he could not locate the shit. He couldn't figure out where the smell was coming from. And it was still so bad. Even after half an hour, the smell was so bad that he had all of us pack up our stuff and we went to a different classroom. So picture this 8th grade class, right? It's already full. And then an entire another group of students comes in because their classroom smells like shit and they can't figure out why. Oh my gosh, I felt so bad. But that man never figured out who made the poop in his room. I really don't know how nobody told on me for that one. Fun fact, that teacher was actually my track coach for a short period of time. Good times. It tasted like tamales. Now the second story actually takes place my senior year of high school at band camp. I know what you're thinking, Daddy, you know what happens at band camp. It was not even like that. Our band camp was so cool. But anyway, senior year at band camp, I actually kind of stopped pranking at this time. But for some reason, I thought it was still appropriate to bring the liquid ass out for one last hoorah. So the way they have our housing situation there is like we all stay in these cabins in this, I guess it's like a campsite. It's like especially for band camp. So, they have like a field where, you go and you do your marching stuff. And then they have the part with all of the cabins. And then they have like some fun stuff like basketball courts and all that, and like a food place. So anyways, they separated the cabins obviously by boys and girls. And my friends were all in a cabin together and a group of our guy friends were all in a cabin together. And this is such a dumb one because in all 3 of these, I don't know what it is about like butts and farts, but they make me laugh more than anything in the world. So in all 3 of these stories, I legitimately almost peed my pants laughing. So I brought this liquid ass to band camp and we decide that we want to tear up the guy's cabin in the least weird way possible. So we're trying to figure out how we can possibly spray this stuff into their cabin because the only entrances into this this place are obviously the front door or the windows, which were really, really high up. They're probably like 9 or 10 feet up in the air because the cabins were on like a raised, I don't even know what it was, some kind of raised thing. The ground wasn't even. So the window was even higher up. And we're trying to figure out how we can possibly get this into the window. So two of my friends decide that the best possible way to go about this is to stand on each other's shoulders. So they get all set up. The girl on the top gets handed the liquid ass and she just goes to town like it's her job to spray this stuff in this window. And like I said, I have a pee pants problem, right? So I'm already about to pee my pants laughing at this. And I can't even imagine the feeling of standing on someone's shoulders trying to do that. Anyway, she goes to town. They get down. We run away. Find out later that they all just like suddenly get a large waft of this delightful aroma that aggressively infiltrated their room. But the whole process of that one, it was really like some James Bond type shit, getting them to like stand up there and spray it in the window. And that was really made it worthwhile. So the very last story, my personal favorite, and you'll see why in a minute, actually jumps back to my freshman year in high school. So I had this teacher. He was a super nice dude, probably one of my all-time favorite teachers. He always had something nice to say. We got along so well, so of course I had to mess with him. And the reason why this story I think is so funny is because he had expressed to us toward the beginning of the year actually that someone in the past, I think at this time it was like 2 or 3 years before that, had literally taken a shit on his floor. And he never figured out who did it. He said they got up to do some kind of activity where they were moving around, and once everyone sat back down, there was just a poop on the floor. And nobody owned up to it. He never found out who did it. And so me, with my accompanied jar of liquid ass, thought, I know just the remedy for this. So one day I go to class, I do the same kind of thing like I did in the 8th grade where I wore boots that day so I could hide it into my boots. I'd previously had it in my locker, so I kind of slipped it in there in between passing time. And we get like 5 whole minutes. So as soon as I walk in, I look around, make sure, he's not out like right next to the hallway walking back or something. Pull out my trusty spritzer bottle and spray like 3 or 4 sprays right on his chair. And so the bell rings, the teacher walks in, and it only takes him a hot second to realize that there is some funny business afoot. So at this point, he's standing directly next to this chair that I just demolished with his liquid ass. And he gets the most disgusted look on his face. Meanwhile, I'm trying so hard not to bust up laughing to give myself away. He's having freaking war flashbacks from the time someone pooped on his floor. And at this point, everybody knows there's kind of something up because the front row has also started to cover their nose from the smell. Oh my god, this shit's bad. And when I say this stuff is concentrated, you guys, I am not playing around. You do not underestimate the power of this liquid Satan's inner asshole, as you could call it. Because those 3 or 4 spritzes eventually made its way around the entire classroom. Our poor teacher had no idea what to do. He couldn't locate a shit. Meanwhile, everyone else is just dying laughing because the entire room just reeks like poop. So the teacher's like, that's it. There's no way. We're gonna have to go somewhere else today. But here's the kicker. We had to take a test that day. I still feel so bad. We had to take our test in the cafeteria while the special needs kids were eating their lunch. And so he legit just had us all set up at like these circle cafeteria tables with our Scantrons. There's other people eating and we're just sitting there at like the select group of tables. The teacher's trying to explain to the other faculty in there why we're taking a test in the cafeteria. I don't know how you can just explain this like unidentifiable poop smell, but he was giving it his best shot, and the entire time I was completely unfocused. I'm pretty sure I still did well on the test, but the entire time I just couldn't believe that I had pulled it off. Once again, I almost peed my pants like while we were sitting there debating like what we were gonna do because the entire room smelled like poop. I have never had to laugh so hard in my life, but I would consider that honestly one of the best pranks that has been pulled on that poor man. I mean, besides the guy who, like, I seriously don't understand how this guy pooped on his floor without him knowing. But seriously, just to have a double whammy like that poor guy just gets hit with all the poop jokes. And so like I said, that happened my freshman year, and throughout the rest of the time in this course, this teacher is trying desperately to figure out who did it. And I was telling all my friends, I was like, all right, you guys, you gotta keep quiet because he can't find out, at least until we're done with this course and I'm out of his class, because then he can't mess with me. Now, fast forward to senior year, he still hadn't found out until one day, I know who told, it was like this girl who always used to hang out with him, in the least weird way possible, by the way. She would just like sit in the hallway and talk to him. She finally told him who did it because she was in that class my freshman year when it happened. And so from that point forward, he would always give me like the pretend stink eye when I was walking down the hallway, like, oh, you. And it wasn't until my last semester of senior year that I had him again as a teacher. And he kept telling me he was gonna get me back throughout the entire course because, I'd always always mess with him, and I honestly planned on pulling more pranks on him, but I felt kind of bad. But anyway, we get around to the very last day of school, and I thought that he had forgot about it. Like, I thought he just wasn't gonna prank me back. Little did I know that shit was going down. So I had his class about halfway through the day, so I go to get my stuff to go to his class. I open up my locker, and I discover that there is nothing, absolutely nothing in my locker. It's all gone. And I was like, what the hell, man? So I walk into class, everybody's already sitting in their seats, and the teacher goes, oh, are you missing something, Sanchez? In the most evil way possible. And I knew something bad had happened. So throughout the entire class, I have no idea where any of my things are. My backpack is gone. All my textbooks are all gone. But as we're getting up to leave after his class was over, he calls me up to the front. He goes into his closet where all of his random crap is, and he comes out and he hands me all of my shit. But he ate my entire lunch. This evil man, every day I pack a lunch, and actually this day my mom had put like some extra fancy stuff in there, like some cookies. And to be honest, I don't even really eat cookies. She just like put some extra random stuff in there that she had, but he ate all of it. I had a sandwich in there, you know, a Capri Sun, even a cheese stick. He ate my cheese stick. So he gave me back all my stuff and he says, oh yeah, you might want to get hot lunch today. And as it turns out later, the hour before ours, he actually has like a break or whatever, a planning hour. And one of my friends was doing like an independent study or whatever, so she was just in his class, and they both ate my lunch together and they took pictures of themselves eating my lunch. It was devastating. But it was all in good fun, and honestly I was expecting a worse prank coming from him, but that was seriously, it really caught me off guard because I thought he was not gonna do it. The fact that he broke into my locker and took all of my things. What a sneaky man. But honestly, I did get a massive amount of enjoyment from that liquid ass experience, so I'd say it was all worth it. So that is all of the liquid ass shenanigans we do have for today. I actually ended up retiring my liquid ass after my senior year. I gave it to one of my friends so that she could continue to mess with people. I have no idea what happened to it from there, but I'm sure somebody out there got an extra little booty smell because of it. It's all about making an impact out here, you know what I mean? Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, of course, don't forget to drop a like and leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought, and if you do want to see or I guess hear some more liquid ass stories, let me know down in the comments below as well. But this channel, I'm not gonna make it strictly like anything specific as far as like story times or vlogs or anything of the sort, but what you can expect to see is just videos of me trying to do something different probably, hopefully every time I make a video. So I'm gonna try to do some cinematic stuff, hopefully work my way up to some scripted content as well. And you know, just in general, I'll probably throw in some story times, maybe some fun kind of informational, you know, like mind-blowing facts videos or something like that. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, definitely consider subscribing. Obviously, this is my first video. I'm gonna try to do one every single week, so you definitely got some interesting Danny shenanigans to look forward to in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!